Hi, welcome back to Brooksy's Bass Corner and my Essential Bass Album series, looking back at albums that in my view are essential listening for any bass player. It might be an album that sold millions worldwide and thrust the bassist onto megastardom, or it might be an album that didn't sell particularly well, but cut a niche for a particular bassist to propel the band or artist onto greater things, or it might just be a great album in terms of the bass performance. Either way, I think these albums deserve your attention, and perhaps by watching this video you might be intrigued to check out the album for yourself. And who knows, maybe it will excite you as much as it excited me when I first discovered it. Sadly, due to copyright restrictions, I can't use audio examples from the album, but where suitable I will indicate particular songs and their timestamp I'm referring to. If you enjoy the video, please hit the subscribe button below. Hit the notification bell so you receive notifications when I post new videos, and please give the video a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. If you have any comments regarding the album being discussed or the video, leave them below and I'll come back to you as soon as I can. On with this episode's album. It's James Brown's Love, Power, Peace. In 1971, James Brown was at the height of his powers. The political background in America that much of his late 60s output had been the soundtrack for was changing, and a new era of music was emerging, namely funk. Now funk can be a genre, a groove, a way of life, a personality or an attitude, but there's no doubting that James Brown was one of the major funk pioneers, and he brought it to the masses in such a way that it couldn't be ignored. This album, recorded on March the 8th, 1971 in Paris, captures James at his peak with a red-hot band, the JBs, which featured the one and only William Bootsy Collins, his brother Phelps Catfish Collins on guitar, and the legendary Fred Wesley on trombone. Considering Bootsy was 19 years old and the band had been with James for 12 months at this point, the performance is tight, slick and totally in the pocket. Judging by the recording and the recently discovered footage from the show, Bootsy was using a 60s Fender jazz bass, probably fitted with flat wound strings, and played through a twin cabinet Ampeg rig to shift some serious air. The whole album is a lesson in groove, and considering the stress Bootsy must have been under, being that young, and knowing that making mistakes wasn't tolerated by Mr. Brown, with every mistake incurring a fine, he plays out of his skin. Brother Rapp kicks things off at a frantic pace, but although many of the songs follow a similar blueprint of sticking to a well-worn groove with maybe one or two key changes, it's the concentration of the entire band to keep it tight but loose, funky and greasy, but on it that impresses the most. The guitar solos are a little self-indulgent, but if James wanted it that way, who are we to argue? Ain't It Funky Now is a killer groove with everyone taking a solo, yet on the CD version Bootsy's solo is omitted, maybe due to space restrictions on the disc, but thankfully we can see it on the live footage that has now come to light. It's a New Day shows how tightly syncopated and locked in the band were with each other, the horns working seamlessly with the rhythm section, and there's no doubting that these guys rehearsed themselves to the bone to keep James happy. Some of Bootsy's tastiest licks and fills come out on the slower soul ballads such as Georgia on My Mind, Try Me and Bewildered. And then we have Sex Machine, a number that needs no introduction and lasts nearly 9 minutes on this CD, such was its popularity at the time. Bootsy fills the groove with some root octave passages to offer some variation and to keep the whole song moving, but there's no denying the infectiousness of the song, such is its enduring classic status. Give It Up or Turn It Loose is a funk workout of the highest order, similar to Sex Machine in many ways, where the horns take the lead, the rest of the band underpinning the horn melodies. Regardless, the audience never stopped dancing. This album in particular shows how the band had to be on their toes through the whole show, with James slipping from one song into another at the drop of a hat, probably orchestrated beforehand of course, but he knew how to keep his band alert. One song might finish, a new song starts, and then halfway through that tune the previous song might be reprised. Somehow it works and the flow is never interrupted. Soul Power is another of the classic James Brown bass lines. Starting at 1 minute 20, Bootsy lays down the groove-laden line, full of stops and short 16th sections that fit with the underlying funk 16th groove that so many funk tunes rely on. Sure, some of the playing, particularly the guitar solos, is a little self-indulgent, but in this context it works, and the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. Despite being a taskmaster of the highest order, James Brown knew how to put on a show and entertain people, and this album is a perfect example of this. If you thought a sanitised greatest hits album is the only James Brown material you need to own, think again. Check this live feast out and maybe uncover some other classic James Brown albums you may have missed out on. You'll be glad you did. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button below, hit the notification bell so you receive notifications when I post new videos, and please give the video a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. If you have any comments regarding the album or the video, leave them below and I'll come back to you as soon as I can. Look forward to seeing you here again on Brooksy's Bass Corner.